going on, guys? Welcome back to another video, and in today's video we're going to go shoot some photos downtown. It's very early morning, so you always want to shoot photos sunrise or sunset, just ideal lighting conditions. So we're gonna go ahead and head downtown, meet up with Viet and Danny, and then we'll go from there, find some cool spots. Alright, so I was on my way to meet Viet and Danny, but I had to stop at this spot. I've always seen this spot and it was like on the way to them, so there's no better opportunity than now. Look at this spot though, guys. Pretty sick. Got Lake Ivanhoe right here. So I got a few shots here. Some kind of construction here. I was literally supposed to turn left right here. Is this a one-way? Screw it, we're going this way. Downtown for you. There's the boy. You! What's up? Hey! Good morning.
Join the gang.
Dude.
Bro, it's such a game changer.
Right?
Such a game changer.
It's crazy.
What's up? You vlogging?
A little bit.
What up, what up?
We'll see.
What up, what up?
Check out this spot. It's a wild night when you lose a shoe. Crazy people. Awesome spot. Alright y'all, so we're here with Viet. He just got the Sony a7 III camera. Super stoked for him. He's learning the ropes because, you know, it's totally different going from an older Nikon to a Sony a7 III. The menu system is totally different. It definitely took me like a couple of days just watching a few videos and just really learning the camera, going out and shooting with it. So yeah, we're just out here getting some photos downtown, showing Viet how to use the camera a little bit better. Just giving him some tips and tricks that I've learned in my experience with it so far. And we're waiting on Danny to show up. Yeah, I'm sure he'll pop up soon.
He scraped his lips like 100 times earlier.
What? Yeah, without the slip low. Here's Danny pulling up.
I think he already did it.
Oh, he just hit the front lip. I'm just kidding.
Smells like shit over here.
Yeah.
Rifle.
Dude, it's an attachment.
What is this?
Sniper rifle. We're out here.
Yeah, for real.
Tell the people they
Got the new
Tell the
sniper
world.
rifle lens. You know,
Got a
we're
silencer.
shooting out here. Got a silencer.
What is that, a Sigma
Sigma 85.
85?
Yeah.
Damn. He's about to get that compression.
Yes, sir.
Woo. Got the M3 boys.
It's too tough of a shot for the 85.
Yeah.
Why, it's too far? Like, or you need to get farther?
I think instead of having so much money tied into that.
Just pulled up on the street. So this is why you go shoot on the weekends, Sunday morning, because you can just pull up on locations like this. You don't really have anyone to deal with, anyone in your way. Getting that fire. Woo. Tried to go up to this rooftop spot, but not working out. So no access to the roof on this parking garage. We'll have to go find another spot. Getting that money shot.
But it's also tinted.
Oof.
ISO, just a little.
The new 85.
no space. We
Oh,
maxed out,
man.
boys.
No
We
way.
maxed out. 128 gigs out the window.
Oh, jeez.
Hey,
Let's
we
see
got the shot
there.
though. Crispy.
Getting some shots. Looks so cool on the phone. Crazy shot. It looks so good on the iPhone. It's crazy.
The quality on that is so realistic too.
Yeah.
Alright, so on this one, up the shutter speed, would you just recommend leaving it down and then bringing the ISO up?
Yeah.
Or
So in
bringing
this
the ISO
case,
down? The ISO's already at 100 though.
yeah. So you're good. I mean, you're perfectly exposed right there.
Oh, it tells you.
Yep.
But your zebra's turned on?
No, I'm gonna turn it on right now actually. Oh, so
Yeah, I
that's
like-
what
I like
you always
having
want
the
is
zebras.
perfectly zero exposed.
Exactly.
I need that. I
The
need
actual
that.
setting? The exposure setting or?
Just like the number where it says plus or minus.
Oh, yeah.
1, 0.
So it tells you already, so that's fire.
Yeah, exactly. It's a little different on like the Nikon, how it just had like the metering bar.
Yeah. That's
You
what
know,
we
to go back and forth. Now it's numbers.
What does it look like on your settings?
So yeah, zebra lines are kind of tricky. I mean,
Okay, I found the sweet spot.
wait, what? You going to 50 ISO?
No, to get rid of the zebra lines.
Wait, you can go that low?
Yeah.
I've like never gone lower than
Than
100. At least I don't remember it going like that low.
That's a sweet spot. That's what the camera says. So
The crispy.
it says 50 is the way.
Yep. Perfectly exposed. So I'm about to do a railroad shot. I'm gonna have Danny get up out there. So let's see. So risky, but I'm just getting out. Imagine a train comes. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I got Danny. I gave him my camera. So hopefully he got some bangers. Do it for the gram.
Your life for the gram.
Yeah, right? I was in the car too. So that's gonna do it for this vlog. I just got some photos with the boys in the morning. Best time to go shoot photos, Sunday in the morning, like no one out downtown. Peace, brother.
Later, bro.
Later.
Later, bro.
Later, brother.
Good hangs.
All right, so we're about to edit 2 of these photos really quick. Just 2 of the ones that I thought were pretty good. So this first one, we got a front end shot, and right off the bat, it needs to be centered. So we'll go ahead and adjust that real quick. So from here, Lightroom, new update is freaking amazing. It's clutch. It makes it so much faster to edit. So with the new masking tool and features, you can select the subject, and it automatically selects the subject for you. So it's crazy what technology is getting into these days with AI and all that stuff. What I normally like to do on the car is just bring up the shadows a tiny bit, and then maybe bring up a little bit of the clarity, see how that looks. Kind of makes the front end pop a little bit more aggressive on the lines, and then we'll drop down the texture just to kind of take out some of that texture that the clarity brings. So that'll make it look a little bit more smooth. And then we will adjust our exposure, probably bring it down a little bit. Image is a little bright for my liking, and then up the contrast a tiny bit. Highlights, we could probably bring the highlights down -50. Shadows we can bring up a little bit, and then whites, I just play with the sliders, see what looks good. So I don't want too much white in there, so then it gets a little blown out. Just do a tad adjustment there. Then black, you drag it down, it gets like super contrasty. So another slight adjustment there, doesn't really need it. And then I like to bring up the vibrance of the overall image. And then let's go ahead and put on a radial filter. So I still like to use these radial filters and then invert them so that we have the everything but the subject selected. I mean, you could invert from the original mask 1 selection, but I mean sometimes it's too defined, if you know what I'm saying. So I just want kind of like the general area outside of the car selected, and so I'll bring down the exposure a tad bit just to kind of make the subject pop a little bit more, and then maybe bring down our sharpness as well, and then we'll bump up the dehaze. Kind of makes the subject pop even more without making the background too dark. And so yeah, that looks good right there. And then we can go into these hue sliders. Sometimes I like to play with the colors, sometimes I don't, because a lot of the time I like to have like the original color of the paint of the car. I like to retain that color, so I don't like to play with the colors too much. Just depends on the edit, what I'm feeling. So I do like bring the saturation of the aqua down a little bit. That tends to help with some reflections in the glass of the window of the car. Could do the blue. Take out the blues, that looks pretty cool. I don't know, I want to keep it more natural for this image. And yeah, so let's go ahead and bring in another gradient filter, or actually linear filter, my bad. Bring it up right here, and just kind of lower a little bit of exposure on the bottom. So yeah, now we can draw a little bit more attention to the subject again. And then also I'm not liking how there's this like huge line in the pavement right here. So I'm just gonna crop that out a little bit. And bring in this a little bit more. Bam. So I like how that's looking, nice front end shot. Yeah, I'm not gonna mess with the colors too much on this one. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this one. Just a nice quick edit. So let's get on to photo number 2. Shout out to F80 Danny for snagging this one for me while I was sitting in my car praying that a train wouldn't come and run me over. We'll go ahead and crop this a little bit more. I don't like how there's this like shirt right here in the corner. So let's see if we can crop in and get rid of that. So that's looking pretty good. Normally you kind of want to have this car or the subject of the photo directly in the center, but for this image I kind of want all the buildings in the background and then some of the foreground to be there as well. So I think that's going to work out just right. So once again we'll start off with just selecting our subject with the mask tool, and you can see it selected a little bit more than it should have. So we'll go ahead and subtract with the brush. Oh, that's too much. Alright. So we'll just subtract some of that area that it selected. That's looking good. And then we'll bring up our shadows a little bit. I want to make it too unrealistic. Does clarity look better or not? See, sometimes when you take the clarity and adjust it higher, then it'll really make the reflections and the shadows kind of pop more than you would want them to. So I'm just going to leave clarity alone on this image. We're done with that. Mask tool. So let's see how I'm feeling about this one. Just bring down the exposure a tad bit, raise up the contrast, take down the highlights. Yeah. Bring up our shadows. I think I'm going to leave shadows alone because we already brought them up on the car and the rest of the image doesn't really need it, in my opinion. So I'll bring up the whites a little bit just to get a little more pop. The blacks, bring the blacks up a little bit too. And then vibrance, take up the vibrance a bit. And then I want to see what this would look like without any blues. Oof. It's kind of a vibe. I'm feeling that. So I think, yeah, I'll take out a lot of the blues here. Minus 76 or so. And then let's see if we can color grade it and make it look a little cooler. So that's looking pretty dope with the cyan type colors for the midtones, I'm thinking. Yeah, I don't really like to have saturation up too much when I'm color grading because that will make the image look a little bit unrealistic. It just depends. Shadows. Take it like a green vibe. Nah. Just reset shadows, leave them alone. I really like the cyan colors, especially with the orange car. It really makes it pop. So I'm just going to leave it like that. Just a slight color grade right there. And then we'll do some radial filters. Just one. Invert. There we go. Exposure down. Whoa. Just like that. We're going to give it like a gloomy, moody vibe. And we'll bump up the dehaze tad bit. Lower the sharpness a little bit. So that's good there. We'll do a linear gradient on the bottom as well. Just add in a little more mood there. Linear gradient on the top too. So now we're looking like it's about to pour. So now we don't want it too much. So right there is good. I'm going to go back to my linear gradient on the bottom. Take out some of the sharpness so we can draw more attention to the subject. And then let's see if we can get rid of this pull right here too. So let's see if the AI can magically get rid of this pull without it looking too wonky. No. I don't know. Let's see. This might be a job for Photoshop. I mean, that's not too bad for a nice little heel tool, patch tool, whatever you want to call it. That's looking pretty good. I mean, I think my crop could be a little bit better, so we'll adjust that. And then we use the clone and heel tool again. Just get rid of this shirt down here. And bam. I think we are good with this one. So that is the two edits for you guys of the pictures that we took earlier. Wish I could do more for you guys and spend more time on it, but time is limited and this kind of takes a while sometimes. And especially like filming it at the same time, it's not as easy. I also wanted to mention about earlier in the video I said where you ideally want the exposure on the Sony Alpha cameras to be right at 0, and that's like perfect exposure. Which is true, but I mean, you don't have to have it at perfect exposure for all your shots. I mean, it can be like -1, -1.7, and you can still get a good shot, and then go back in Lightroom and up the exposure there. So that's not really a huge deal, but I mean, definitely something you want to keep in mind when you're shooting, just to make sure you got proper exposure in your shot. Thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe for future content, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.